Hello, welcome to another Tech Articles. In this article, should hopefully be a very quick article, I'm going to show you how I've adapted one of my snippets that I released today to work from my MainWP dashboard. And I have a version of this that sits in my utility plugin for those sites that are not connected to MainWP, but when I add a site that is sticking around, MainWP would be my main way to manage that site. So it will get added to MainWP and that will be how I interact with it rather than directly through my utility plugin. So I set up a script for allowing me to set up Shawmails and Shawmail connections. And the reason for that is I set up a lot of sites for demo videos, tutorials, even just tinkering around and modifying things. So I needed a way to set them up that was both um, via CLI and also WP config setup for my utility plugin. But when it comes to a main WP hosted site, i.e. a permanent site, I wanted a way to do it with that as well. So using what I've learned to write the utility plugin, I've created a smaller snippet. Actually, I've created two of them. One to set and one to rotate the API key if ever it gets leaked or I want to change it or any of those information or any of those situations arise. So Shawmails is an email delivery plugin by the Shaw team, and it's what I've slowly been migrating over to. Previously, I was using Fluent SMTP, but Shawmail appears to be where I'm going. I like the interface, and it's got native Email-it integration, and Email-it is what I've been using for emails for quite a while. So for this tutorial and for this to work, we're using the MainWP code snippet extension again. And what I've done is I've written two snippets that I'm going to send to that site and set those details up. So first of all, I've got my MainWP snippet set up here, and we're going to be utilizing this particular site here. This is the site all set up. Shawmails is installed. It doesn't have to be installed for the snippet to work. It will automatically work when it's installed, but I've done it so I can show you that it's not installed. It's not set up. It's asking me to configure it. And if we go to settings and our options, there is no settings set up. We've got no connections or anything. So that's how it's currently set up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to our dashboard, and you can see here it's still nagging at me to set this up. So I think it's time to set it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my save snippets, and I'm going to load this one here, set up Shawmail. I'm going to load that. And the details for this video are already set up. So I've got my API key here, a from email, a from name, which is a MainWP test. The type is email it connection, priority set, delete logs, email simulate, etc. All set via these options on a per run basis. I'm going to select mainwp.wpcode.co.uk, and I'm going to make sure it's return info from child sites. It has to be return info from child sites, because if you execute on child sites, it will continue to execute. So we don't want to do that. We want it to run once, send us back the information, and that's the end of it. So I'm going to save that snippet, even though I haven't modified anything, and then I'm going to save and execute that snippet on that site. So it asks if we're sure it's going to run that snippet, and it tells you straight away Shawmail connection created and set as default, and then gives you the ID of that connection that it is now created. Now if we head over to our dashboard site and we refresh, the nag is gone. And if we go to setup and Shawmail SMTP, and we go to connections and send a test email, let's send a test email over to this email address, and all being well, that should go straight through. It says it's successfully sent, and you can see here an email has already come in, and here is our MainWP test from Example Tech Articles, already set up and good to go. And just like that, we are set up. The other snippet in this article is one that allows you to rotate your API key. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. So I'm going to rotate my key. I'm going to leave all the details the same, except for the API key, which I'm actually just going to leave as your new API key here. And I'm going to save and execute that snippet on the same site as such. And you'll see here, updated API key for one connection, the target, the type, etc. And it's done. So now, because we didn't set a key, our email should fail. And test domain failure, because our key is not correct. So the reason I've created two is because if you need to update an API key, I rotate my API keys a lot. I use them in a lot of videos. You never know when you might accidentally leak one. So I tend to rotate them often. This will allow me to rotate those site keys that where they might get leaked in a matter of seconds. I could do all sites from here, setting a universal from. I could even modify the way the config works, and that if the site matches, it sets the details. So it depends how you want to run this. You could even pull in a remotely hosted JSON, for example, and do it that way. But the core of this is this will allow you to set up your MainWP sites with SureMails quickly and efficiently directly from your dashboard. You could then even install the plugin after the fact using the plugin installation setup. Hopefully this has been useful to you. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe to the channel.